What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I did want to talk about something here on Forza Horizon 5 that, well, I feel like a lot of people are probably going to agree with. And I mean, look, I'm not going to say this is the only game that's going to count for this, but I feel like it's one of the better modern racing games that really is going to be great for a car person, or at least perfect for them. Now, again, though, there is going to be other racing games that can also fall into this. But one of the reasons why I do think Forza Horizon 5 is going to do a great job at it is going to come down to a couple of different reasons. So, number one here is going to be simply down to the fact that you are going to have multiple different models of the cars in the game. Now, I know this might sound a bit dumb, but do hear me out here, though. We all do know for a fact a lot of racing games are going to require licensing if they do want to have real vehicles in them. And I'm probably going to guess and say right now to have a lot of the different cars in the game probably is a nightmare in a way, or it is most likely going to cost a ton of money, which some of the companies might not be able to do. One of the biggest things I noticed playing Forza, and again, this is coming from a brand new player in this franchise, is, well, we are going to have multiple different cars in that exact same class. Now, what I mean by this, though, is not like C or B or something. No, I'm referring to something like the Porsche 911 GT3 RS or the regular GT3. We also have like the Turbo S. We have the Rally Edition. If you really think about that for a second, a lot of games are most likely not going to have all of them. Another factor of this I was looking at is the BMWs. We're going to have the M3 competition, the new one for that matter, the newer one. We're also going to have the M4 competition. We have the M2. When I was looking at this, I was like, bro, we got all three of these BMWs in here. A lot of people that do love cars and stuff, if you are going to be a car person and you're going to like BMWs, well, guess what? You can pretty much drive all of them, which is going to be pretty insane. Like, I do know a lot of people are like not liking the way the new BMWs look and stuff, but I still think the new M4 and the M3 are actually pretty dope looking cars if you stance them right, do the right things to them. I still like the way they look, and the M2 is also kind of growing on me. But if you're into those cars though, man, you are going to have the option to drive all of them, which I feel like a lot of games are not going to offer. One example of this is something like Motorfest. We all once again know licensing is going to be hard and stuff like that, so some companies might not be able to do it. And who knows, maybe they might not even have the rights to do it. Do let me know in the comments on that stuff. I'm not all that familiar with like the right stuff and all that insane like legal things when it comes to licensing on a game, but I would probably guess being able to have multiple different vehicles like that is probably going to be fairly difficult, which is probably why Motorfest only has something like the M4 in there. You don't see like the new M3, the M2, which a lot of cars players are wanting. And the other side of this is probably down to the fact that we are going to have so many different cars in Forza Horizon 5 that most games are probably never going to get. Like, for example, the Lexus LFA, or we're also going to have the Nissan Nismo Z and stuff like that. Like, there is a lot of different cars and stuff that a lot of players are looking at. We also have a bunch of Subarus, which basically no game really has now, which is kind of insane. So if you are going to be into those types, at least you can drive them, mess around with your friends and stuff, customize them slightly, and also upgrade them and all that. Now, I do know the customization in this game isn't that great, but to be real, I'm not all that surprised. I mean, heck, guys, we have almost 900 vehicles. There is over 900 if you include them all, or, you know, the other special ones. But either way, that is a lot of different cars. I'm guessing licensing different body kits is probably kind of a nightmare, or maybe they're not really allowed to do it for some of them and stuff like that, and including some vehicles, maybe they don't allow it. If you look at something like Car X Street, for example, which I am planning to do videos on this when it does hit PS5, because I am interested to explore it and see what, you know, the game is about and stuff. That game is going to have absolutely insane customization because none of the vehicles are licensed. You know, kind of similar to Grand Theft Auto in a way, but it is kind of different. I would say Car X Street for me with the customization is probably on par with Need for Speed, but in ways better because, again, they don't have to kind of stop and go, okay, well, we can't do this or we can't do that. No, they can basically go all out, which is honestly pretty incredible, and will most likely set a game like that apart, also being great for a car person, alongside of the realistic part of Forza Horizon 5 with the cars and the car lists and stuff like that. Seeing cars in this game that you would most likely never seen other ones. Now, yeah, Car X Street could get them because they could pretty much add the cars into it, no licensing or whatever. I think they can anyway, but you are probably never going to see a majority of these cars ever showing up in something like Motorfest. At least I hope they could, but I really doubt we're going to get an LFA. Maybe in the future it's possible. I would like to say they could do it, but the thing is the car going to be paid in like a DLC in like the year 3 pass or something? Or are they going to lock the car behind something like that because they know people want it? that is also another side players are thinking about. A lot of the people I do know that are into cars, I do know a good amount of them do play Forza Horizon because a lot of the cars they love or even cars they own in real life are going to be in the game. Now, speaking of all of that though, I am also curious because I feel like a lot of people probably want more customization in Forza Horizon, but let me know what y'all think about this. Now, I do know I'm going to be a new player. There is going to be a lot of veteran players that can probably chime in and stuff like that, or even newer players, what you guys think about it. Do y'all want more customization in the game? I know that's going to be a stupid question because at the moment, we really only have Forza Aero, at least when it does come to like the actual exterior customization of the vehicle, which we all do know a lot of people are not the biggest fan of it. I am wondering in Forza Horizon 6 that maybe they might end up having more customization in there, but we really are not going to know. Again, I do understand like the licensing stuff probably plays a factor. I'm just really glad compared to Motorfest I can actually widen my wheels out. I can lower the car and paint my wheels and actually customize by painting the wheels and doing different parts of the wheel. I do love that instead of having one set of wheels or whatever and they're all going to be old ones, you can't color them. I feel like that really is going to be a big L, especially when it does come to customization. So at least Forza is going to win in that aspect. If we are going to be talking again about customization being absolutely insane, guys, I think Need for Speed will take the crown, and also CarX Street as well. We all do know those games have always been better, and I do know for a fact Need for Speed has kind of had the crown for customization pretty much forever. I mean, that's kind of something it's been known for, which I'm going to guess and say hopefully the next one is also going to do it. But the thing is, though, if you are going to be a car person, you probably love customizing. At least you will have options. You can go on to Need for Speed and do that. Go on CarX Street if you want. But the biggest thing is, if you are going to like driving certain cars and stuff, guys, Forza Horizon 5 really is the GOAT. At least at the moment right now, I would guess. And the coolest part is, someone like me who's going to be into trucks and off-roading stuff and different SUVs, like for example the Bronco, you're also going to have the option to drive those in this game, which other games do not offer. I mean, heck, I don't know of another game that's going to have a Ram Power Wagon in there. You're going to have real built trophy trucks, Class 1 buggies and stuff. You're going to have diesel trucks as well, like the F450, the DeBerti F250, man. What other open world racing game has diesel trucks in it, man? Again, if you're going to be a car person, this really is a huge thing to think about. If you're going to be in an off-roading or like an overlanding build, you can do that too, which is also going to make this game even better. Maybe you want to have a dream garage of like a GT3 RS, but also a crazy overlanding F450. Well, guess what? You can have both of those in this game, which honestly just makes it even more perfect. Being an off-roading type of person, guys, I've always liked, like, you know, street cars and stuff. I do like them. I was actually having a good time driving the M2 and stuff, driving the M3. I do think those cars are dope, jumping in the Porsches, the Lambos, even jumping into a bunch of JDM cars, like different Subarus, even the Supra and stuff like that, driving the LFA. I really do love those type of cars and stuff like that and experiencing them because a lot of games don't offer it. But I also love the fact that if you're going to be a different side of the quote-unquote car person where you like off-roading stuff or trucks or, you know, even rally cars and stuff, you also have that option. We have something like the AMC. We're then going to have something like the Barracuda. We have different Dodge Daytonas and stuff like that. Like, there's also going to be that aspect of it, so we're also going to have a bunch of classic cars on top of everything else. I really do feel like, guys, not everybody is going to be into, like, modern sports cars and stuff, which is dope. Some people are going to like classic cars, and guess what? You also have that option. I mean, heck, I've even been cruising around in some of the older classic vehicles. I love the old Camaros. I do feel like the Barracuda is going to be a really cool car. The AMCs are dope. I've heard about them. I've researched things about them, and I was like, yo, that's in the game too. So it is going to give you different times and another way to experience older cars in a game that you're most likely not going to see in anything. I mean, I don't know of another game that's got an AMC or even the older Barracudas. Like, you're going to have all kinds of old classic cars, like even the Plymouth Fury. Now, I do understand Forza Horizon 5 isn't the first Forza game to have some of them, but at least for me, it is going to be. The game really does offer a lot of different things for a bigger audience because a lot of players can jump in and experience different things. And sure, again, the customization isn't 100% there, but there is still going to be some cool things you can do to the cars in game. And I feel like a lot of people, depending on what you're into, you're probably going to love Forza because a lot of those cars you most likely love are probably not going to be in any other game, at least for a while. Could they show up? 100%. Are they in there right now? Well, no, so only Forza has them. Really does make me excited to see what they're going to do for Forza Horizon 6. I am going to have some prediction videos and some things I feel like players would want in Forza Horizon 6. So do stay tuned for those videos in the future. But do let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. I would say a lot of people are going to agree that for like a modern racing game, Forza Horizon 5 is one of the best quote-unquote car person games. And I would say if you're looking for customization again, maybe something like Need for Speed or Car X Street. So there is still going to be options for all of it. But I really do gotta admit, man, every time I look at the car list in Forza, it really is insane. And I feel like that's going to be a big point a lot of players are most likely going to be attracted to, because some of their favorite cars are in a game they can drive them, which a lot of games just don't simply offer.